Many years ago, two Weaver ant sisters were carefully walking through the forest floor of the Savatar Valley, when suddenly they got attacked by two Godzilla ant sisters. The attack was so quick and sudden that the second Weaver ant sister just ran away out of sight, while the first Weaver ant sister was brutally beaten by one of the Godzilla ant sisters. However, the fighting Weaver ant soon gained its composure and turned the table upside down. It was now the Godzilla ant sister that was trying to flee away from the Weaver ant. Finally, when it ended, the Weaver ant was gravely injured, battered and down, but was still standing. When the wounded Weaver ant sister returned home that night and her sisters saw the wounded gaster of their sister, they were furious. They soon caught the two Godzilla ant sisters and began to bite them mercilessly. While one of the Godzilla ant sisters was able to run away and save its life, the second Godzilla ant was tortured mercilessly. It was held in the painful death stress for a long time, but not with a force to kill it at once, but with a sinister intent to give it a long painful death. Finally, it was killed and its lifeless body was carried away to be eaten. Back in the Godzilla ant's nest, the Godzilla ants too were furious to see their wounded sister. And soon the greatest warriors of the Godzilla ant colony set out to avenge the death and pain of their sisters. One of the Godzilla ant warrior was a great fighter and she killed many Weaver ants workers. And so the Weaver ant kingdom sent their best warrior to get rid of the valiant Godzilla ant warrior. The two enemy ant warriors met each other at the Valley of Death and immediately started to fight unto death. But surprisingly, the Weaver ant warrior completely dominated the Godzilla ant warrior. The moment it caught the Godzilla ant warrior by its antennae, the fight was over. The Godzilla ant could neither free itself from the jaws of the Weaver ant warrior, nor could it match the Weaver ant warrior in strength and topple the Weaver ant warrior and overpower it. Still, the Godzilla ant warrior refused to give up, and so the fight continued for a long time. Finally, it was over when the Godzilla ant warrior was ultimately killed. It was an honorable death for the Godzilla ant warrior. He died fighting valiantly. However, the Weaver ant warrior could not rejoice over his victory for long. Its celebration was cut short by the arrival of the invasive yellow crazy ants in the Savatar Valley. That was not only going to drastically change its life, but also the life of its sisters and of every other ant living in the Savatar Valley.